After almost 24 years of marriage, I find that marriage is a lot like a project car. A lot like a project car. When you first buy that little project car, like my 98 Mustang, you realize from the outside, cosmetically, it's not so pretty. It needs some help. People walk by it and they look at it and go, ew. But on the inside, it runs good. The AC works well. It's been to San Antonio and back twice already. It makes long trips with no problem. And yet there's still a little bit of tuning under the hood that I could do. Is your marriage pretty on the outside and troublesome on the inside? Or pretty on the inside and troublesome on the outside? I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and it's amazing when I talk to people about the issues going on in their life, how they can very easily point to their spouse and say, well, if she just wouldn't argue with me in public, or if she would just respect my wishes in the area of finances, or if she would just keep the house clean, or if he would just come straight home from work, and the list goes on and on and on. And usually it's kind of pointing at the other person rather than asking this question, what could I do better myself? And I think that's a lot like a project car. I've been getting estimates on some of the little things that I want to get done to my car because I have to write them into the budget, and it's going to take me a while to save up the extra money to do it so it doesn't impact our household budget. And those little things are like a paint job or new tires or little things that from the outside they make it look good, window tinting. And they're important to me, and they're important to some people that pass by my little old car and go, what a piece of crap. But honestly, I'd rather know that even if the driver's window doesn't roll down, the AC blows ice cold air. The plugs and wires have been replaced. The exhaust system doesn't have any leaks in it. The motor runs fine. It starts every time I crank it. It runs well down the road. It doesn't sputter or hesitate. But see, in order to be concerned with those kind of things, you got to open the hood and get your hands dirty. You got to get your face down in there up close and listen for things that could be going wrong. And in a marriage, sometimes the things that are going wrong aren't what everybody in the neighborhood sees as you yell at each other in the middle of Walmart. It's not what everyone thinks about your marriage because you have 2 new cars in the driveway and a perfectly manicured lawn and a 5,000 square foot home. Those are like the paint job on the wheels on your project car. What really matters is what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your soul, in your spirit, in your relationship to yourself, to your God, and then to each other. Because if you can't get you right with you, if you're not happy with the man or the woman you're looking at in the mirror, then the relationships immediately around you, they're not going to work right. If the pistons are bad in my car, no paint job in the world is going to make it drive down the highway. Just ask my son with his little Buick Skylark after he decided that driving it with a ruptured heater core while it was filling the floorboard on the passenger side, because there were no puddles on the ground, he didn't think anything about it. Now it has a blown head gasket. The cost to fix the head gasket is more than the entire car is worth. The part is only $42. But the amount of labor that goes into replacing it is more than the car is worth. Don't find yourself in a position where your marriage may look great on the outside. No dents, no dings, the paint is good, the body is straight, the glass is all intact, the tires are new, the wheels are shiny, but it won't go anywhere. Your marriage has no longevity. Your marriage can't endure the first financial hardship or the sickness of a child. Because if you're not firing on all 5, 8, 7, 12 cylinders, how many you have, if you're not firing on all cylinders, you got no momentum. And if you've got no momentum, your relationship doesn't have a whole lot of hope. And if that's where you find yourself, you need to get some help. You need to get some help from a life coach or a marriage coach or some marriage counseling. Go see your pastor. Get you right, so that you can be firing at all cylinders, so that your marriage isn't just a shiny, pretty project car that's going to leave you stranded on the side of the road in a hot mess somewhere. Trust me, it happens every day. They put the new paint job on, they put the new spoilers on, and then they find themselves broken down on the side of the highway in a marriage that just won't go. I'm J Loren Norris on Leading Leaders Podcast on Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.